year, I mean, you had that great single out, and it came to the number one in the Heritage chart as well, didn't it? It was going on for
Yeah,
ages, and we had it on our
yeah.
playlist here at Sounds Radio. It was going on for about, I would say, 6 months. It was one of those songs that
Wow.
stuck around for a long, long time because it was
Yeah.
really good, wasn't it? It was a belter, that.
Yeah, we had a great response with that, and just like we're so happy that people have taken that song to their heart, and it was a nice track. We had fun promoting it and recording it,
Yeah.
and we've had two number ones now on Heritage Chart. So just it can't be, we can't be doing better than that really at this
No,
stage of our careers.
yeah, you've got a great fan base, haven't you, Steve? Tight Fit seem to have like a real big following still, don't they?
Yeah, we've got really loyal. We're very lucky. We've got really loyal fans that have kind of, our age and a little bit younger and maybe even older, but they've kind of stuck with us, and they follow us and come to
Yeah,
shows, and they're people that probably we wouldn't have ever met, like back in the 80s, but
yeah,
now because of social media you can get to know everyone, and
yeah,
some of them have become friends, and we meet up at gigs, and it's
yeah. It's
really
great.
it's really nice, really
Yeah,
nice.
brilliant. So you got a new song out at the moment. It's called Electric.
Yeah.
How long's that been in the wings, ready to go out? Did you get that sorted out last year?
Yeah, in fact, we recorded it, I think, like quite a while ago. We recorded it at the end of last summer,
Yeah,
and then we sent all the vocals off to Matt Pop, who lives in France, and he sent back the production. And then Energize, our label, had some other songs coming out just before Christmas, and we're only with like quite a small label,
yeah,
so they wanted to kind of stagger the release, and so we just decided to put it off until after Christmas, and
yeah,
and this was the best time to do it. So it literally came out yesterday.
yeah. No, we were playing
Yeah.
it. We sneakily played it from Sunday, actually, but there we
Ah,
go.
brilliant.
We might get told off for that. But I was on
No,
Sunday
no,
afternoon.
no. That's very good. Thank you for that.
I was on Sunday afternoon, and I thought, I can't resist putting it on. I'm like that. I'm like a big kid. If there's something there that you're not allowed to do, I think, well, I'll put it on anyway. So
I'm
yeah,
with you there. Exactly. I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
excellent.
yeah.
And they're all good, feel good tunes, aren't they? That you're bringing out, Type Fit. They really got a positive vibe all the time, I've
Yeah,
noticed.
I think so. And you know what? We are at that stage in our career where people are offering, because we've had, success with the first two songs, people are offering us music now, and
Yeah,
coming to us with tracks, which is fantastic.
yeah,
We would never have, when Energize first came to us, like we signed the deal with them in, I think it was 2021, and we had to wait because of lockdown, obviously, to get in the
yeah,
studio. So it took a while to get started, and then the first single came out at the end of 21, and then the Holding On To You was last year, and this was the third song off the album, and it'll be the title track, I think, and it's the first song, in fact, that we've done with Julian Denise on lead and me on backing.
right.
So
You're having a rest.
yeah, and I'm having a bit of a lay down in the
Just
back of
clapping
the
hands in the
studio.
background, is it? Like tambourine comes out.
Exactly. I've got my tambourine and my triangle ready. Um, so yeah, but I'm loving that. I'm very,
Yeah,
very. There's no egos in the group, and it's nice to give everyone a chance, and they did a fantastic job, and Matt Bopp did a lovely production
yeah,
for
good.
us.
Yeah, great. That mix was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, lovely
Um,
mix, really
yeah,
nice.
always good production on your songs. I've noticed that. I mean, they stand out, from the others quite a lot, I would say.
Yeah,
Got a
thank you
few
for that.
different mixes coming in, and you think not quite
Yeah,
hitting the nail. Some people on the
yeah,
production. It's
yeah.
dead important, isn't it?
It's so important, because a bad production can ruin a good song. But if
Yeah,
you've got a good song with a great production, then you're really winning there. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that helps a lot.
Are you going along? Are you doing a lot of touring then in 2023?
So we had absolutely no gigs at all. I probably said this to you before. During lockdown, there was nothing
Yeah,
at all. And now I
yeah,
think it's quite difficult because obviously the economy's not doing well, people haven't got money,
yeah, yeah,
and so it's quiet. But we've only got a couple of gigs booked in, and we don't really tour. We're not a big enough band to go out and tour on our own.
Yeah,
We always do gigs with other people, or an 80s set with other people from the 80s as well. So
yeah,
it's just it's one of those things. It comes in spits and spurts, and I'm sure we will get gigs will pick up at some point, but it's obviously everybody's in the same boat.
yeah, yeah.
Nobody's got any money these days.
No,
So
it's going to be tight times really this year. We noticed
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Maybe I mean last year was like full on, wasn't it? After COVID, everybody
yeah,
was getting
yeah,
out
yeah,
gigging a
yeah,
lot,
yeah,
and everybody was
yeah,
just going mental, weren't they? They were going, "Yeah, I'm
yeah,
going to the
yeah,
gigs wherever." It's just cooled down just a little bit, hasn't it? But it's
yeah,
early
yeah.
days yet, isn't it? In the year yet?
Exactly. And we had, like I said, we've got things to do. We've got to get this album finished, and hopefully it will be ready by the end. I think by the end of the summer. We've done about 7 tracks, and I think we're going to do more than 10. There might be 12 tracks on the album,
Yeah,
and so that will hopefully be late summer. So
yeah,
fingers crossed. And we've got some great tracks on there that could have been singles as well. We were kind of
yeah,
pushed to decide what was going to be the next single, but we really like this one, and because it's different to a lot of the songs that we've done before, and it's got a great dance beat to it. So we just
yeah.
thought this is a happy dance track. It's what we're about, and
Mm.
we had a good reaction from people, so we're happy that this is the single.
I was going to ask you, how do you actually make the choice to decide which ones actually come out? Sit
Ah,
down between you all, just sit there and listen to it all
yeah.
together, or
Yeah, it is very much a joint decision, and Energize are have us very much involved in it, and it's kind of they have their opinion obviously, and
yeah,
they're paying for all the productions, and so
yeah,
obviously they have a big chunk of the decision making, but they wouldn't put something out if we weren't happy for that to be a single as well, and that's the really nice experience of working with them, and
yeah,
something that we've never had before with other labels, because
yeah.
back in the past you would just say, this is it, this is what you're doing, this is where you're going, and this is how it is. So it's been a real pleasure to work with them, and yeah, they originally sent us 5 tracks when we signed the deal with them, and Electric was one of those songs,
Right.
and we've recorded all of those songs now, but 3 of those songs have been the first singles.
Yeah.
So it's the new stuff that's coming in now that we're starting to record from different writers, and also from various productions as well, but a lot of Matt Pop productions, and obviously Seventh Heaven we've worked with as well. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, we've been really lucky. We're just pinching ourselves
You sound like
basically.
you've been really busy, though. I mean, you sound like you've done a
Yeah,
lot of tracks. You've been doing quite a bit, haven't you, in the last year, I would
yeah.
say.
Yeah, and like I said, it's quite a small label, so they're working with other acts that they've got Rosala, they're doing her album,
Yeah.
and which is going to be fabulous, I think, and Nikki French, they put out tracks with Nikki all the time, and they have their roster of artists, and they try and work with each one and then move to the next one, get their single out, and then move on to the next one. And it's done really, for a small label, they've worked really well with each artist to make sure
Yeah.
that everything's going
Because
as well
on a,
as
I
possible.
was going to ask you on a big label, is it not like that at all? Is it not? You don't get much choice at all, do you not, with a big signing?
Well, I think it depends. Back in the day, in the 80s, no, it was really difficult to have any say, basically.
Yeah.
We were just really saying, this is what you're doing, this is the songs you're recording. We really didn't have much say in the songs that we got to record at all.
Right.
Whereas now, if a demo comes in for us, Energize send it to us, we all have a listen, and then we chat about it and talk and say, this is either good, or yeah, or no, we don't think this is the right one. But no, that would never have happened.
No.
Never
No.
have happened
The
back
bigger
then.
the record company, the less choice you would get, I would imagine, would it
I
be?
think it also depends on how big the artist is. If
Yeah.
it's a big artist on a big label, then yeah, they're going to have a lot more
Because they
say.
get a
But
bit
if
more power.
yeah, exactly. If you're Celine Dion, you've got the power to say no. But
Is it all about how you're based on the charts as well? Is it how well you would be doing on the charts? That power.
Yeah, I think so, very much so, because back then, there was no social media. You couldn't
Yeah,
react with fans really, apart from touring or doing gigs. And now it's very different. We get an instant feedback from people. When you put a record out, you instantly get, on Twitter or Facebook or wherever it is, you get
yeah,
that feedback, and
yeah,
it's so nice to get that sort of personal feedback from people that have followed you and like your music. So
yeah.
that means a lot.
Do you find there's a bit of pressure with the social media? I mean, I find it here at the radio station, like you say, it's so hands-on, isn't it? Everybody can contact you straight away,
Straight
and you
away,
feel like
yeah.
there's something buzzing behind you all the time, don't you? You know, when you're like performing in the old days, if I was doing a
uh-huh,
gig or a concert or something like that, introducing everybody, you didn't
uh-huh.
feel that quite. You didn't know how it went, did you? Really? You didn't have a focus on it,
Yeah,
and now you get that
yeah.
instant reaction, don't you?
Exactly. It has its good points and its bad points. You do worry, especially when mobile phones are everywhere and they catch
Yeah,
everything you do.
yeah.
And back then, thank God there weren't mobile phones back in the 80s. We got away with it.
Excellent. How do you all get on together? Because you've been together for some time now, haven't you? Are you just good
Uh-huh.
friends with each other? Like, is
Yeah,
that
I
how it
mean,
works?
we've known. I think Denise was 19 when we started, and we're all of a certain age now. So
Don't
what's
worry,
that
I'm there with
number?
you.
So we're getting up there. So yeah, we've known each other since we were very young,
Yeah,
and we were all with the same theatre agency when we started out, and the record company came to our agency and found us that way. And but we hadn't worked together before, but we've known each other now for 40 years. So it's like we are like family in a way. we
yeah,
we know, I know exactly what someone's going. If I say something, I know the reaction's going to be from Julie or Denise, and we know each other. We know exactly what each other is thinking,
yeah.
probably before we say it. So, yeah, yeah, we know each other very, very well,
I always
and
think,
we
right, I
we
don't.
get on well.
I always think, Steve, when you get people like that you've known for 40 years, right? And if I go back to my school days when it's even longer than 40 years, but you find like
Uh,
that even if you don't see these people for maybe a year, when you
yeah,
bump into them, it's just like you've
uh,
got an old friend straight away. You don't
yeah.
have any funny feeling
Yeah,
about it. You just
yeah,
know them, don't you?
exactly. Because there were times, when there was a long time when we didn't see each other, when we went off and did our own things, and I went back to theatre, and Julie had her band, and Denise was doing presenting, TV presenting, and so we didn't see that much of each other at all. Spoke occasionally,
Hmm.
and but yes, then picking it back up again and
Yeah.
being together all these years later, it's a little bit like time hasn't. When we're on stage sometimes, and I look left and look right, and I think, oh my God, here we are. It's all these years later. We're still doing this. There's
Yeah.
no Zimmer frames yet, but
Parallel thinking, isn't it? And as you're singing your song, you probably think, I forgot the lyric now because I've got some thinking about how ironic it is that we're stood here on the stage doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Amazing, isn't
but
it?
but it's but at this stage of our lives, it's because it's a bit of fun, not
Yeah,
because we've
definitely.
got a record company pressuring us to do this or that. And
Yeah,
Denise is still doing her TV presenting, and
yeah,
Julie's an amazing chef. She's the best cook ever, and we love going
right.
to her. So that's her passion. Her food
Yeah,
and cooking is her passion.
yeah,
Denise loves her acting, and for me, this is ideal because I've had problems with my sight. I have lost a lot of my sight, so I had to stop doing theatre work, and so doing what we're doing now is perfect for me.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm very, very grateful for everything that's come along.
I was going to ask you, I mean, you mentioned Denise with all the TV work and everything, right? And every time
Uh,
I sit and watch the TV, I'm watching for the advert to come up from a cruise.
Yeah.
But she's sat there.
Yeah,
Oh, this is the life, isn't it?
yeah.
I thought great.
She does these amazing jobs. She said, I can't, I can't do anything next week. I'm working. What are you
Yeah,
doing? I'm off to the Caribbean. Oh,
yeah,
you poor thing. That's a
amazing.
hard job.
Yeah, does she never offer to take you all with her, and go off on a cruise, get a bit of
Yeah.
discount?
Yeah, yeah, that would be good, but yeah, I think she's very happy to go off and do her own things.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great talking to you this afternoon, anyway. And yeah, I could talk for ages actually because I'm really interested. I'm really an '80s person. I like to go back to all the
Yeah.
'80s music. We have a
Well, we're with you there. We're right with you there.
Yeah, we have a show on here that called the '80s Elevator, and basically it's
Ah,
just 2 hours on a Sunday evening of solid '80s songs. And there's
ah,
just so many songs in there from that decade that you can
yeah,
go at.
yeah.
It's such a
Oh,
great decade.
such great tunes in
Yeah,
that period. I love the 80s, and when we do shows, we always put a little bit of 70s, but mainly 80s as well. And
yeah.
yeah. And
Do you think people still reflect on that today when they're writing the new songs and they're taking little
I,
vibes out of the
I,
80s?
yeah, I think they do a little bit, and because we work with probably people who are a little bit older, they and people who remember the people who wrote this track,
Yeah,
T and David Buswell, they are. Yeah, they're a little bit younger than us, but they're fans of all types of music genre, and they love the 80s as well. But also, we don't want to be stuck in the 80s. We
no,
really want
exactly.
we want
Yeah,
to do music that sounds a little bit current now,
yeah,
and is would be popular if somebody heard it now as well. But doing those shows, 80s shows, it's great because people know those songs and they sing
yeah.
along, and there's a lot of fun to be had on those nights with all the glitter and the shoulder pads and the
Yeah.
rah-rah skirts. And that's just me.
Yeah, great. I think you're dead right. I mean, when I listen to the new songs, I love the new songs just as much as the old songs, but I'm stuck in the '80s. But
Yeah,
the new songs have just got a really different vibe to them, haven't they? They just update that
yeah,
vibe. It's a
yeah,
set
yeah,
sort of modern
yeah,
vibe that
yeah,
they've
yeah,
got,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
highly produced now, isn't it? Whereas in the
yeah,
'80s,
very
it was
much.
produced completely different, wasn't it? It wasn't all this high
Very
tech
different.
stuff.
Well, you had to be in the studio with the producer.
Yeah.
Now very often the producer is somewhere else on the planet.
He's on that cruise with Denise. That's where he is with his laptop.
Oh, he's so lucky, sunning himself over there. God.
Oh dear. Anyway, it's great chatting to you. I wish you all the very best for the new song that's coming out. I mean, it's already playing it as we know, Electric. There's a
Yeah,
couple of versions. Am I right in saying that? There's like a different
yeah.
version and a standard version.
There's a couple of other versions as well.
Yeah,
Project K and Pete Ware, I think, did another version. So yeah, we hope everybody loves listening to it and sings along, dances to it. I think it's the kind of song that gets your toes tapping a bit.
yeah,
And
definitely.
it's a great
Yeah. Have you got a
a great.
video coming out with it, Steve?
We probably will do something. We haven't done one yet, but I think it's early days. We've just
Yeah,
literally come out yesterday, so I hope we can do something in the next few weeks. But yeah, we'll
yeah.
see.
You'll be on the seaside again, walking along a long pier.
In Brighton,
That,
yeah, the last one was in Brighton. Yeah,
yeah. And people going,
is that tight fit?
it
No,
was
they're tight,
brilliant. It
surely.
was it was brilliant that. I caught everybody off guard, didn't you? As you just carried
Uh-huh.
on, didn't you, that day? It was fantastic. That.
Yeah, it was a fab day, and it was freezing cold. I have to say,
Yeah.
it was rather cold, but it was a nice sunny day, so it looks warm. It was a bit like doing the well, not similar, but because we Fancy Island, we went to Saint Tropez, so
Yeah.
that was very nice. But
Wow.
again, it was sunny, but
Yeah.
it was cold because
Yeah.
it was like early spring.
Yeah.
So, but I have very very fond memories of doing that video in the south of France. But
Yeah.
yeah, we've changed a bit now. So we were in Brighton for the last one.
Doesn't matter where it is, does it really? Because the sun,
Yeah,
I
as long
just
as
love
the
all
sun
these
shines.
locations. Yeah, it's just nice to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
everywhere, isn't it?
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
it's
it was.
great to chat to you. I wish you all the very best and keep in touch as well. Because when you get another
Uh,
release, we'll get you back on again.
okay,
Because
that's
all our
cool.
fans here, they love you, by the way. We're
That's
near
very
to just down
kind.
the road from Blackpool, and
Oh,
you've got,
great. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I can tell which songs are really hitting it, and your songs are still hitting it. Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic.
So.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very kind. Thank you so much, Nigel. We
Oh, it's
really
a pleasure.
appreciate it.
Yeah, a
Thank
real
you so
pleasure.
much.
We'll keep in touch, and if you get that video release out, let us know, and then we can put it on our website or whatever. And
we'll do. We'll do.
Yeah.
We need to come to Blackpool and film
You
a
do
video.
come to Blackpool and pop in and as well. We'll meet you through here as well.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. It's great talking to you. All the best for 2023 as well, Steve. All right.
Thanks, and to you too. Thanks, Nigel.
Yeah, cheers, Steve.
Bye.
Bye.
Sands Radio, from the Fylde Coast for the Northwest and beyond. We play the best music.